Hi everyone, thank you so much for clicking on my channel. I wanted to do an updated eyebrow routine because I've only ever done one eyebrow tutorial, and the way that I do my brows now has changed so much. I've really been into the really full, bushy kind of boy brow trend. I felt like for a long time it wasn't something that was possible for me because naturally my brows are very thin, they're very sparse, they're very uneven, I have a lot of bald patches. I just didn't think that I was going to be able to get the thickness and the fullness of the brow look that I wanted. But I have discovered a little trick that helps me achieve full and natural looking brows. So if you're interested in seeing how I achieve this brow look, then just keep watching. I just want you guys to get a good look at my before brows here. They're super thin, super sparse, very uneven, but we're gonna make them look really full, and the best part is that it's really easy and really quick. What you're gonna need product-wise to achieve this look is just something to fill in your brows. I personally use a powder, but I think you could use a pomade, I think you could use a pencil, I think you could use whatever works for you, because to me, what really matters is how you set your brows and not so much how you fill them in. I like to use powders because I think it looks a little bit more natural. You're also gonna need some kind of spoolie, something that you can use to comb through your brows. A disposable or an old clean mascara wand would work as well. Just something that you can use to help comb your brows upward, and this will also help to blend the product that you're putting in your brows. And you're gonna need a bar of soap and some Stronghold hairspray. These are my secret weapons right here. Now because I use a powder, this is the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in the color Taupe, I also need to have an angled brush, but if you're just using like a pencil, then obviously that's just how you're gonna apply it and you won't need a brush. I'm gonna use both colors in this powder duo. For the inner portions of my eyebrows, I'm gonna use the lighter shade, and then when I get to like the middle section of my brow, I kind of mix the colors together, and then when I get to the tail of my brow, I just use the darker shade. But the first thing that I want to do is comb my brow hairs upward, because when I start filling in my brows, I start at the bottom to kind of create an even line, and I want to make sure I can see that. If my brows are like combed down, I'm not going to be able to see exactly where I need to fill in. Now that my brows are combed upward, I'm just going to take my brush here and dip it into the light powder shade, and I'm just going to start in the front of the brow, and I'm going to start at the bottom here and flick upwards. It's going to give me the most natural look to the front of my brow. I don't want the front of my brow to be too dark. I don't want it to be too boxy. I don't want to go in too heavy with the product here because that just helps keep the whole eyebrow look more natural. Now that I've filled in the front part of my brow, I'm going to start mixing the two powder shades together for the middle section. This part of my brow is where I find that most of the reshaping needs to take place because I just have some bald areas where my eyebrow hair doesn't grow no matter how much I try. So this is where I really like to make sure my brows are combed up and I can see exactly the bald spots that I need to fill in. I periodically like to stop and just take my spoolie and just run it through and make sure that everything is blended, and it helps me to see if there's any spots that I've missed. Another area that I feel needs a little bit more shaping on my brows is right on the arch. So the middle and the front part of my brow, I don't put any product in the top because I feel like that's when it starts to look really unnatural. But I do like to add a little bit more shape to the arch of my brow here, so I will fill in a little bit along the top in that area. And now I'm just switching over to the darker powder. And again, just running through with my spoolie to make sure everything is even. At this point, if you needed to do any cleanup, I would just grab a really small brush and some concealer, and if you needed to touch up some spots any areas where you might have gone outside the line a little bit, or you just kind of want to sharpen up any lines, now would be the time to do that. You could definitely just stop here and call this good. I wore my brows like this forever, but mostly because I could never find a brow gel that actually held my brow hairs into place or gave me the effect that I was going for. But I have discovered that the combination of the soap and the Stronghold hairspray just works for me. It sets my brow hairs into place. It gives me that really full effect that I'm going for. And chances are you already have this stuff sitting around your house, so it's not going to break the bank. So what I like to do is just take the bar of soap and spray the Stronghold hairspray right onto the soap. This is my way of wetting the soap, I guess you could say. So instead of using water with soap, the Stronghold hairspray just gave me that extra oomph that I needed to hold my brow hairs in place. So I just wet it like that. I take my spoolie and I rub it in there till my spoolie is nice and coated. And then I can start combing my brows into the shape that I want them to be in. Now I kind of like to go ham on this first step here because I really just kind of want everything to stick straight up. And then if I need to go in with like a little pair of scissors and trim any super long hairs, I can do that. Or if I need to just go in with something like this and kind of knock down any really tall hairs, I can do that as well. But initially I want to get everything sticking upward. So this is what we're looking like at the moment. I do have some hairs that are kind of a little bit crazy. So what I do for that is I always have one of these little eyebrow comb things handy. Of course, you could just use your spoolie as well, but since mine is wet, I prefer just to have something separate. And I'm just gonna take the edge of that comb there and just kind of lay down any of the hairs that are maybe a little too extreme for my liking. And you might discover that there's like one hair that really just needs trimmed, so this would be a good time to have your scissors handy and trim any hairs down that are just a little too cray. And there you have it. That is how I get my natural full brows in just a couple quick steps. It literally takes me less than 5 minutes to do my brows this way, and I just find that it gives me the most natural effect. Of course, if you're not into the bushy boy brow trend, then this probably isn't for you. But if you are digging the full bushy brow trend and you just haven't been able to achieve it, this would be a really good method for you to try out, because I had tried everything and nothing worked until I found this combo. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up down below and subscribe to my channel. I love you all so much, and as always, I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.